Hello, and thank you for joining me. My name is Colton Matthews. I am a certified Salesforce administrator and Salesforce developer, and I work for Eide Bailly. Today, I wanted to walk you through the steps to install our COVID-19 screening tool into your Salesforce environment. Now, we have created a COVID-19 screening tool as an unmanaged package, and we're making it available for those that need it. And the purpose of making it unmanaged is that you could change it, alter it, or adjust it to your liking or to your needs, depending on your situation. In this video, we're simply going to go through the installation steps for this package and what tweaks you need to make in your Salesforce environment. First things first is I'm going to actually sign in to my Salesforce as an administrator, after which I'll go to the link provided that will bring you to this package install page. And I want to make sure I'm installing this for all users. If you install for admins only, it's going to give specific permissions to the administrators and not to the users that might need to use the information we're collecting. So we want to install it for all users. And we're going to go ahead and click install. Now, this shouldn't take too long. It's not a terribly large package. So we're going to go ahead and let this install. And while we're doing that, I'm going to go back to our Salesforce org. And there's a couple things we need to do in order to make this work properly. Some things you may already have done in your org and some things you may not have. I will proceed as if none of these have been finished previously. And I'll make note of some of those steps that you may have already done that you can skip. First things first is we actually want to go to our translation table because this screening tool is available in both Spanish as well as English. And so we have built our translation for Spanish right into the package. So from here, we want to go to our translation language settings. And if you haven't already done this, it's going to ask you to enable the translation workbench. So that's exactly what we're doing. Obviously, if you've already done this, you'll see a different screen, and you don't have to redo that screen. If you have already done it, you'll see what I'm looking at currently. Our installation is complete. So at that point, I can go ahead and close that window. And in our translation workbench, this is the next step we need to take is now that we've enabled our workbench, we actually need to activate the different languages. You can see here, English and Spanish Mexico are both inactive. So I'm going to edit and activate and save. Edit, activate, and save. Okay, so that is the first bit. The second bit, next thing we need to do is go to our custom labels. I'll type in custom labels into the search bar. And you'll see that depending on how many custom labels you're already using, you're going to see there's some custom labels for the COVID-19, there's titles, COVID symptoms, COVID descriptions. These are labels that are actually in the object. So I want to go and I want to make sure that all of those have the secondary label. Now, they should already have it. It's part of the package. And if you'd like to just spot check, which is what I'm going to do on this demo, and just make sure that it came in properly, that's perfectly fine. Enabling the Spanish Mexico translation, as we did before in the previous step, puts these into place. So I can see from the COVID-19 title, there is a Spanish translation. So that's probably good enough for me at this point. Next, we need to go to our force.com domain. Now, this is another piece that you may or may not already have set up. If I come to domains, sorry, I actually need to go to sites, not domains, sites, and I'm going to create a domain for my org. Now, this is important to listen to me. If you have not already done this, then we need to do this. But what's important about this is you can only do this once, and it is org-wide. So this is not specific for the COVID-19 screening tool. This is specific to your organization. So I would choose something a little more generic to your organization, maybe something like your company name. I'm going to do my company, or something of that sort, just to be sure that if you were to use this for any other application, that it's not going to always have that COVID-19 tool stuck to it. So I would definitely choose a different title, different name, different domain that's more generic and generalized. So I can't use my company, so I'm going to use my company 123. See if that one's available. And looks like it's not, of course. These do need to be somewhat unique simply because it's a domain, it's publicly accessible. So we're going to do that. You can go ahead and read this and register the domain. It tells you that. It says once you register, you can't modify it. Are you sure you want to use this? We're going to say okay. and it's registering that domain name for us. Okay, once that domain name is complete, I can now come down to the bottom here and create a site. Now this is what is publicly accessible. So this is what your employees will go to access the form that the tool contains. So I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to type in, this is just a label. So we're going to say it's, I'm going to use the COVID-19 screening, put in some kind of a description if you'd like. And then this default web address, this is where people will actually go for this form. So again, I'm going to use that COVID-19 screening, but you can put whatever you'd like in this form here. This is just the URL. Then the active site homepage. Now this is one we're going to search for screening form, and this should already be in your instance because it came in the package. And then the rest of these, if you already have inactive home or templates or something like that set up, you can use those. You don't have to use the standard ones, but that's what we're using in this case, is the standard ones. Once this site is saved, or is created in this way, we don't need to do anything else. We're going to go ahead and save it. And now we need to activate this site, but before we do that, we want to change some of the public access settings. So we're going to come to our public access settings on this site. We're going to find under field level security, custom. So under custom field level security, COVID screening form, we're going to click view. And we just want to make sure that everybody has the read access, which it looks like they do. Okay, and then what we're going to do is go to right down here where we got the standard object permissions and custom object permissions, COVID screening forms. We're going to need to choose the read and the create on this. So at the top of the page or at the bottom, we're going to click on edit. We're going to go and find this right here, COVID screening forms, and do read and create. And save. Now we need to go back to our site. So I'm going to come back to the left under the settings and look at our sites. And I'm going to activate. You'll see that activate button in this bottom little piece down here. I'm going to go ahead and activate that site. Okay, now it's active. Now, so long as all went well, I should be able to select this link and it will open into my form. We have the COVID-19 screening questions. Here's our questions. We should be able to toggle between Spanish and English. There's our Spanish, English, and then we should be able to do a quick test here. So let's do one of those. Test, Colton. We'll just do today's date. We'll say that I have not come in contact and I don't have any of the symptoms. Supervisor, I'll just put myself for now. Okay, and then go ahead and save that. Now you'll notice that it resets as soon as it saves. That just means it's been submitted successfully and the next person can do it. So the idea is that if you have a tablet or something in the entryway of your workplace, you can just have this screen up, and as employees, essential employees come through the door, they can fill it out and save it, and the next person up can fill it out and save it. Now if we come back to our sites page over here, and go ahead and create a tab for this. We're going to go to our custom tabs, use our custom object, click next. We're going to default this to on. We will not include it in any of our, unless there's a specific app you guys use, your HR department or someone that would be needing this. I'm not going to include it in any applications here. Go ahead and save that and then do a refresh. Then we should be able to come up here and find our COVID screening forms object, in which we should be able to see the one I just created. And here we go. So that is how you use and deploy the COVID-19 screening tool that Eide Bailly has prepared and put on as an unmanaged package. Obviously, you can make other adjustments to this, or you can have Eide Bailly make additional adjustments. Just go ahead and contact your Eide Bailly representative. Thank you so much for your time and have a wonderful day.